All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Let me officially welcome each and every last one of you all to our profit call, BYOB profit call. And yes, we're going to have some market analysis going on while we're on this call here today. So this is Tasha M. Dyer, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. Good morning, good morning, good morning. So ladies and gentlemen, as you log on this morning, please go ahead and drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. Along with those affirmations, good morning, good morning, good morning. So I see you guys, I see you, but drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from along with those affirmations so we can go ahead and get this call started. Good morning, good morning. All right, let me see. I see Toledo. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning. Okay, Milwaukee. Okay, Milwaukee. Up and ready and alert and affirming. Let's make it happen. Good morning, Columbus. Good morning. Good morning, London. Good morning. Good morning, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Good morning, Manchester. Good morning, Fort Mitchell, Alabama. Good morning, Jacksonville. Good morning. Good morning. There's more of you all on the line. Good morning, Virginia. Good morning, Leland. Good morning, New York. Good morning. Good morning. It is more than you all on the line. And guys, we're streaming. So Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, go share it. Go share the stream. Go share the stream. Go share the stream. And as you log in, good morning, Greenville, South Carolina. Good morning, Cleveland. I'm like Columbus, but good morning, Cleveland. I know Columbus on here too. So it's not that I can't read. I was just trying to read it before I read it. Good morning, Columbus. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right. Let's get our minds together, right? Let's get our minds together because today, we get some news, right? We get some news. So let's get our minds together. Let's understand what's happening in the market. But we first have to prepare mentally. I am an educated BYOB master trader anointed for wealth. I am the signal. All my trades in and profit. I am 777. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm excited. I don't know about you, but like I'm just in that space right now because I definitely understand what's actually manifesting. Good morning, Milwaukee. Good morning. I understand what's happening. I'm like, okay, Milwaukee represent this morning, but I'm excited because good morning, London, UK. Good morning. Look, Milwaukee again. The United Kingdom and Milwaukee. Okay, I see you guys. I see you. But I say I am excited. See, look, the UK coming in too. Again. So I'm excited. Let me stay where I'm excited because I know what's about to manifest, right? I'm excited because I understand what's happening. And there is so much happening right now. There's so much manifesting and so much that's coming forward, and I'm gonna just say it. I don't do like year to year, but what I do understand is that we go through cycles and we go through seasons. And as we embark upon a new season, right? I'm gonna call it a new season. As we embark upon a new season, this is where we're gonna elevate. This is where we're just about to take this. And, I'm excited because let me see, is that Jacksonville? Good morning, Cleveland, and Cleveland, Tennessee. Gotta be specific. So I just, as we embark upon that and as we embark upon a new season, right, we're in preparation mode because we just did 6 figures in 6 months, guys. And it's coming up. And I get excited when it duplicates and when it manifests, right? I truly get excited when that happens. So I'm gonna start my screen share with this, right? Today is Tuesday. And it's a power pack Tuesday. And I want you to understand some people you're connected to, right? Today is a power pack Tuesday. And we have a broadcast. Now, this is not today. This is not our topic for today, but you want to show up. But what I want you to do is I want you to mark your calendars. I want you to mark your calendars and make sure you're there because this is what's happening. And, we can talk about, it's never about myself. We could talk about me, we could talk about Mr. Rogers, but it's never about us. Like it's never about, from a trading perspective, we could talk about Dr. Bythewood with the information and the nuggets he drops every 2 weeks. It's not about us. It's not. I don't have to get up and do this call for me. It's not for me. I can sit at home and drink some coffee and look at the computer screen, right? I can do that. That's what I can do for me, right? I don't have to be here on this line for me. And so when you get up and you get up for someone else and you get up and you want to pay it forward, and then you start seeing a manifestation of things transpiring, and then people become educators, and then you all are dropping 888s in the chat for compounding. You get to hear from two of our educators. See, educators that compound. Let me tell you, isn't this exciting? So on November the 30th, do not miss this broadcast. On November the 30th, do not miss this broadcast. Let me tell you right now. On November the 30th, do not miss this broadcast, because we talk about it all the time. We compound out, but yet it's a whole mental shift when you understand that you can bring that in. So when you have individuals that are compounding, and look at Milwaukee coming again, when you have people who are compounding and individuals. Now look at this. This is Milwaukee and Jacksonville represented on this flyer. These are two of our educators, and they will hit that 6-figure mark here very soon. And so through this 6 figures in 6 months, okay? 6 figures in 6 months. So I say let's salute them, but I'm excited to hear from them as well. So mark your calendars, mark your calendars, mark your calendars, mark your calendars. Who's going to be on the broadcast with me? Now, you have to tune in to rejoice904.com, or we're going to be streaming YouTube, Facebook. Okay, I see it. We're showing up. Now, don't forget we have a broadcast today, but I just want to make sure that, yes, you want to be there because they've learned it, they've mastered the skill set, and now they're teaching it and paying it forward. And so this is what we're doing. So we want to make sure that we show up. And then also, right, we're talking about BYOB worldwide, having worldwide impact. And so once again, who is this same lady that was right here? Who's representing on this call today? Milwaukee is. And so with Milwaukee, all this representation, Milwaukee, you need to show up. Go get registered. BYOB movement. BYOBmovement.eventbrite.com. Go get registered, okay? Go get registered. It will be so many more cities next year. So if you are in driving distance or even walking distance, or even flying distance, no matter what, no excuses, show up and be empowered. That's what needs to happen. Show up and be empowered, right? And then, of course, let's get this other one, because we're going to be in Sumner, Mississippi, right? This is where we're going to be. So we're going to be in Sumner, Mississippi, myself and a visionary. And I'm telling you, we have some phenomenal people having some serious impact in this community. And so you want to make sure, Victoria Turner, just tremendous impact in the community. And so, well respected out there, just has, corporate to trading. I'm telling you right now, you want to make sure you show up. So in the Jackson, Mississippi, Memphis, Tennessee, any of those surrounding areas, you want to show. So driving distance, let's go. I already know we have people that are driving in, people that are coming in. You want to make sure you're there. I'm telling you, flying distance. It is not, no longer just driving distance. It's flying distance, right? Because we want to get there. When you're in a space and you're in a place, you get empowered. And you want to make sure that you're there, all right? So let's do it. All right, so now I'm going to share my screen and we're going to talk about these charts, all right? We're going to talk about these charts. So we're going to talk about this money and how do we get to 6 figures in 6 months? It's through this skill set. It's through learning this skill set. So if this is your first time here on this call this morning, your first time here with us, let me get a 111 in the chat. If you are still learning how to cash out, let me get a 222, right? You're still learning. Let me get a 222. If you are cashing out, right? If you are cashing out, let me get a 777. That means you're taking profits. Somebody even name on here is 777. I love it. Like, look, I'm gonna just call me Cash Out, right? Just call me Cash Out. So you got your Zoom name is 777. Yes, good morning, Cash Out. So, and if you are compounding, right? You're compounding. Let me get an 888. All right. If you are compounding, look at there. See, educators that compound turn into BYOB master traders that compound. I love it, right? Educators that compound turn into BYOB master traders that compound, right? That's what we do. So now, I see you guys. I see you learning and cashing out. And that's what it's about. So if you haven't started compounding yet, I'm saluting all of you all that are, because that's phenomenal. But if you haven't started compounding yet, no worries, no worries. Get that, look, let me back up. I'm too excited, right? If you have not started compounding yet, no worries. You want to get that skill set in your demo account, then get that skill set trading live, get that feel for live, and then you want to begin compounding, all right? So it's a process to this thing, right? Now, here we have it. This is today. So now you notice we had last night, okay, or yesterday we had GBP news, we had AUD news, right? So we know we had news yesterday, okay? So knowing that we had 2 AUD newses, I want to, hopefully this didn't kick me out. I want you to take a look, right? So here I am on a harmonic scanner because we've been talking about how the news impacts the market, all right? What do you see a lot of, right? I see a lot of NZD, AUD, JPY, right? These kind of fall into that time where I'll let news hit, right? Anytime you get AUD or NZD, you're gonna, they kind of roll together, right? When we talk about the US 30 and the US 30 and the S&P, right? They kind of roll together. And so what you're seeing is you see quite a bit that are now coming through. So what I'm doing, remember, I'm slowing these calls down. For those of you all, let me back up a minute. For those of you all who are new to this call, let me give you a little understanding of what we're doing, right? I had a few 111s on here. And so this is how this call schedule works. And this call schedule is really important. And it was deliberately put into place to where, you know, we kind of, you know, just very deliberate in making sure that you're successful. So Monday through Thursday, 5 a.m. and 9 a.m., here we are on this call live in the market. And this is an analysis call. And so this week, as we prepare, right, really this next month, because we're in that preparation state, you know, before the Christmas holidays and all of that, we're going to slow it down on this call to really kind of dive in the analysis of the tools along with helping you guys, right? So we're being very intentional. Does the market slow down during the holidays? Absolutely it does. Does your profit, does your money slow down after the holidays? Absolutely not. So I want to slow the training down or the analysis call, the profit call down just a little bit to kind of, let's walk through the trades. Let's walk through pulling from the tool. Let's really just walk through it because we're implementing what we've been educated on. So I need for you all who've been with us for a while, if you see a trade while we're doing this, let me know so we can analyze it, because we still want to make sure we take the money, we grab the money that's available to us while we're going through this. I just been trading for a while, so I know this season, I know this time. And so we might not get a lot of trades on the call per se, but I do want us to take it if we see it, but I'm gonna walk you through it, okay? So now, that's what this is about. So on Tuesday nights, today, Power Packed, at 5 p.m., we have our radio broadcast, okay? And so you tune in. You want to make sure you're here. And then tonight at 9 p.m., back on the same Zoom, is our foundation, our basics call, where you have Miss Anderson just laying it out. And we talked about it yesterday, and I'm going to reiterate it today. You would not buy a house. All of you all said, absolutely not. No way, no shape, no how, no way. It's not happening. All of you all would not buy a house if they didn't lay a foundation and they just started putting up the walls. And I want you to think about it and do the same thing. Let's grab the foundation and understand what it is that we're doing before you start trying to put up the walls, okay? Before you start trying to come in and do everything else. And then, of course, on Thursdays at 9 p.m., we are back in the same space in market talks, but it's the advanced. Let's go in, let's dive a little bit deeper into some tools and understanding the market. And then, of course, following both of those calls is a talk with the finance doctor, all right? So, and that's what Dr. Baithu is. So that's a talk with the finance doctor, all right? So let's go ahead. But so that's that. Now, what do we do first as we always come check the financial news. This is no different than checking the weather. We have to check the thermometer. We have to check the temperature. We have to know what's going on in the market. So if you check the weather before you go out, like I'm traveling this weekend, I'm going to Sumner. So I'll be flying to we're not flying into Sumner, but I'll be flying into Memphis. So understanding that, What is one thing I need to do to pack? I have to check the weather. I need to know. I live in Florida. We get what we call quote unquote cold fronts, meaning it get chilly for a minute and it's going to warm back up. So I have to adjust accordingly to where I'm going. This is no different. So I need to know if it's going to be cold, if it's going to be cooler. What do I need to pack? What do I have to bring with me? Right. And that's the same mindset we have to have when we look at these. So I'm trying I'm trying to get rid of those thoughts like, oh, a red folder. Oh my goodness, a red folder. No, it's yes, a red folder. Because if I tried to go, even we talked about, what are some of the cities that are coming on the map? Right. We talked about Cleveland. We talked about the United Kingdom. Let's just stick with those two because I'm from Louisiana. I already know how it is out there. But we talked about those two and understanding that it's cold up there. It's cold. Y'all look really cold. And so if I didn't check the weather, if I said, you know what, I'm going there right now. If I didn't check the weather before I went, I'm setting myself up. So if I tried to dress like I do in Florida right now, right? I think yesterday I had on flip-flops. So if I try to do the weather the way I do in Florida right now, if I went to Milwaukee or Cleveland or the United Kingdom right now in flip-flops, that's a problem, right? So I'm not going to have success. I'm setting myself up. Am I right? So check the weather. That's really all this is, okay? Check the weather. And so you want to come in and you want to take a look at this. All right. And that's all it is I'm checking the temperature. I need to know what's going on in the market. Does that make sense? Because I know so many of you guys, the messages, everything, oh, the red folders, I didn't check the red folders. Embrace them. And then when you click them, like today, we just went through, like, y'all awake? Nobody answered. I said, okay. I'm like, once again, I'm going to blame this on the Zoom. I'm going to blame it on the chat delay. But thank you, Tasha Nunn. Thank you. See, her name is Tasha. That's what she represents. Thank you. So, yeah, see, they will freeze right now. Exactly. So I want you guys to get in the habit of looking at this where you see it comes in. Well, this is not the one that doesn't say, why do traders care? Let's look. Why do traders care? It's going to tell you, why do we care? Why do we care? Why do we care? It's the primary gauge of consumer spending. I don't need for you all to be Dr. Blythewood. I don't need for you all to get a PhD in finance and economics, okay? I need you to embrace this the same way we embrace, us checking the weather. When I go to work, or when I used to go to work, there are things I needed to know in order to get my paycheck. Like, what is my pay rate? Like, what am I going to get an hour? This helps you determine that. It helps you determine and set the tone for your day. So I want you to embrace these red folders, open them up, find out why I care. Not last Thursday, the Thursday before that, the training's uploaded. We really went in understanding the sentiment and the bias of the market. So that's why these are important, okay? And so this is really what gives the market direction, right? Yes, exactly. TNT. It gives the market direction. All right. Now we understand that it strengthens the currencies, weakens the currencies. That's the thing. Okay. That's what it does. And then what we understand, I'm going to get us a clean chart. Then when we understand that it strengthens the currencies, then what happens is you understand that the currencies are strengthened, and then we're able to determine how we want to trade, right? That's what we're able to determine. Okay, before we even dive in, because I'm about to move this, so I want you guys to pay attention to this. So yesterday's call, we analyzed Tesla and it had that pre-market, right? Look where my pre-market, when you see red folders, I associate profit. Exactly. You guys are learning how much they move the market. So look at what Tesla is doing. I want you to look at this 4 hour. Look at this curve that's starting to happen. Look where my pre-market is. Obviously, I can't trade Tesla until the market opens, but we talked about this. This is a rejection zone. You see the same markup. So you see how we can use this on anything, everything. Now, let's come over here. Let's look at some triggers. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the BYOB cash out strategy, and then we're going to find something in the market. We're going to analyze. Now, what we see, I want you to look at this. We have some that triggered on a higher time frame, right? This AUD USD, we're going to go back and look at that one. Isn't that the currency we've been following? Isn't that what we've been following? But I still have to set the foundation. I can't just jump to that. We can't just jump to that. So it is definitely what we've been following. We got to set the tone. So we're going to come back, but this is what we've been following. Okay. So let's come over here. Let's look at this GBP CAD. Do I have GBP? I have a lot of GBPs, but not CAD. But maybe we won't check GBP CAD. Maybe we won't use that one. Yeah, see, maybe we won't. So maybe we'll click refresh. Maybe we won't. Yes, I cleaned my cookies. Maybe I need to do them again. All right, let me see. What browser is this? I am on Safari. Let me go to Chrome. Chrome does not like me right now. Let me see something. Let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna change browsers. That's what we're gonna do. Give me a moment to get it up. I think I'm gonna change browsers. This appears to be attempting to pull up, possibly, maybe. You have to love it. You have to love it. You have to love it. You gotta love it. All right, so let me change my screen. Well, hold on. See, yesterday technology wouldn't let us stream. Today, technology is like, I don't even want you to see the chart. So let us come over here. Let's do it this way. Let's change browsers. Oh, you know what? Did I do the same one? No, I did not. I was about to say, that is not okay. All right. And that thing's still circling. So let's talk about the BYOB cash out. See, you got to overcome and not get spazzed out. We always overcome. Okay. So now let's take a look at what the BYOB cash out strategy is. We're on GBP USD. I know it. We're going to be here on purpose for a reason for a moment. Okay. Let's just hang out right here. So we don't have a trigger right now. I know we had some earlier. Now, let me ask you a question because GBP had some movement this morning, right? GBP had some nice movement. Who grabbed the movement? Who got this trade? Who took the trade? One of 47 pips. Who took the 777 in the chat? Were you up? Did you get GBP, USD? Did we trade that? Can I drop my 777 in the chat? 777, did we trade that? I saw it in the chat, not this chat. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about the BYOB cash out. Let's talk about this foundation, all right? So now we're looking at 3 indicators, right? That's what we're looking for. We are looking for 3 indicators. Now, in these indicators, right, what it is that we need, okay? In these indicators, what it is that we have to have is the Hikanashi candles, right? That's what these candles are. I have my PSAR, which is this dot. And then we have our stochastic, which is my momentum indicator. Now, these are my leading indicators, right? This is my leading indicator. These are my lagging indicators, which means I look at this one first, all right? Now, we're talking foundation. On this call, I get advanced. On this call, I start marking up charts. On this call, you'll see me walk through all of that. You still need to make sure you set your foundation, right? You still want to make sure that you start here, regardless of what I do. So I had to start here. All of you all have to start here. You build that foundation, and then it allows you to build on top of that, all right? So here's my stochastic, okay? Now, obviously, I'm looking at historical trade. We're going to analyze this too. All right. So what I'm seeing is a blue line cross over the red and an upward momentum. That means that I'm beginning to look for a buy. Now let's look at this live. Well, let me do this. Or let me look at the live trade and I'll come back here because let me see. We just had a piece. Nope. We just had a PCR flip. I'm trying to say. So for my traders, you guys know, just remember, like on our markup, I want you guys to know, because this is pulling back. This is starting to curve. It's starting. I'm not like 100% ecstatic about it, but you do have this on that 30. So let's drop down. So you do have that. Just kind of now remember, it's coming up on that. It's coming up. I'm gonna walk you guys through it, but this is something that we've been looking at already, and then I'm gonna come back. So I don't want to kind of help, and I don't want to mess up anybody, but I do want to show my traders is. Don't forget, we're approaching this trend line, right? That's why you don't have all that you want. So it looks like it didn't respect it. It kind of came through it. So that next candle might pull it through there. I just don't want anybody to miss a trade opportunity if it's available for them. So let's go back to our basics. Let's get back over here. It's a shame I got to change browsers. Well, let's look at the live trade. Let's look at the live trade. You right? Let's look at the live trade. And so you see a buy and you see a sell right here, right? That's what you're seeing. You see a buy and you see a sell. Now, right here, that blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. All right. Blue line cross over the red in an upward momentum. I do have my blue line cross over the red in a downward momentum. If this happens around the 20, right? This happens around the 20, then I'm looking for a buy. This happens around the 80, then I'm looking for a sell. Now, let me be very clear. That crossover and cross up is very important. That crossover and cross down, because we can be, as we've seen here, you can be in an overbought or oversold territory and the market still be buying or still be selling, right? It's still buying, it's still selling. So now, we're looking here. You see that? Look, I love how look at this blue line. Like, this is just beautiful, right? Blue line cross over the red and downward momentum. One thing I want to point out, we have the red candle with a flat top. This PSAR is flipped. Now, my stochastic is a momentum indicator, which means it's always moving, right? It's always moving. It's not going to stop. Now, my red candle, I get a new candle every whatever time frame I'm on. So if I get a new candle every 15 minutes, every 5 minutes, every hour, whatever time frame I'm on is when I get a new candle, right? That's when I get a new candle. And so the PSAR, as we just saw, here I am on a 15-minute chart, which means that I have, let's do this, which means that I have 2 minutes until I get a new candle, because I get a new candle every 15 minutes. You notice the PSAR just flipped, right? That PSAR just flipped. So that PSAR is not necessarily going to flip at the top of the 15. The PSAR is going to flip when the PSAR is ready to flip, when the market's ready to flip. Remember, I'm looking at a market. No matter what time frame I'm on, it is the same market, right? No matter what time frame I'm on, it is the same market. You guys with me? Same market. So it's just a different viewpoint that you see it from, okay? So we should get a new candle here in another 1 minute. We're going to look at that. And this should get some more adjustment as well, all right? So that's what we have right there. And so I want you to see it live. I want you to see this live. I think that's a better. Right? I need you to see it live. Need you to see it live. And then we'll go back over there to that AUD/USD. We'll go over there. So 30 seconds and we'll get a new candle. I think this will help, because every time we get on here, we see a past trade, a historical trade. We'll come through and we'll analyze this. You'll see me drop this on here because, that blue line cross over the red, you got a green candle with a flat bottom, PSAR flip, right? So this is actually a live trade, and this is actually a historical trade, means it's already happened. So it's helping you understand this is nothing but space and opportunity over here, right? This is where the market's going to go. This is what the market's going to do. And what it does is it just helps you, It's your responsibility to come in and analyze this, right? And make the determination of where the market's going. So does this bring some clarity to any of you all that are still 222s, right? And so now what you're seeing is we have a new candle. Okay, good. We have a new red candle, right? And now it's Hikanashi. It's Hikanashi candles, but we have a new one. Now I want to come to my 30-minute. Look at this, right? Look at this, okay? Look at this solid green. Look at this solid, I'm like green. Look at this solid red candle. I was looking at this one. Well, we had our confluence on the other one. But look at this solid candle that you have right here, all right? And I want you to see that. And now when I come up here to my hour, so now you can see how it's starting to change and how we're starting to get that shift. So obviously we won't get another candle until 6 o'clock. When I drop down, I'm still selling. And this is where so from there, all of you all, when we had that and we came back and we analyzed it, now I'm never going to say, hey, push the button, right? Hey, get in the trade. This your take profit. This your stop loss. I've learned over the years that when you do that, you handicap someone. And you guys do not, you guys do not take the initiative to go in and try to figure it out, because all the time I get, well, what's my take profit? Well, what is this? Well, what is that? You're not going to do 6 figures that way. It's not going to happen. I'm going to just be very clear. It's not going to happen, because you don't do you ask your employer, well, what's my check going to be? Well, what time you say I get off? You know what time you came to work. You know what time, you're supposed to get off. So I need you to take ownership, right, of your trades and ownership. And so what you're seeing now is a trade play out. That's what you're seeing. So you're actually seeing a trade play out. And so when you hit that button, you want to do your 10 pips and cash out, or to the very first support and resistance line. Now, as we advance a little bit, unfortunately, I got to flip back. Light bulb, ding, ding. Y'all know I love these moments. Light bulb. So when I come back to my other browser that we already have marked up, okay, what you can see is where it is hanging out around this trend line. You're very welcome. I love light bulb moments. I'm telling you, this stuff was foreign to me too. You guys are not the only ones, I promise. And so what this does is it helps you determine where you want to set a take profit, or it helps you determine if you want to take the trade at all, right? Because now there's a 92% accuracy rate. What we just did is going to give you that 92% accuracy rate, okay? Now, how do I go higher than that? How do I take this to another level? Like, how do I go past 92% accuracy rate, right? By beginning to now understand the market. So as we're looking, right, you already know what we are. So we know that we're approaching and we're sitting on top of a trend line. Now, let's talk about GBP. How many of you all have those children that you want to knock out, but at the same time, they ultimately and eventually do exactly what you tell them to do, right? How many of you all have that child that you just be like, oh, they're going to color outside of the lines. They're going to test your patience just a little bit, right? And you could just call it, they're going to test. I call it test my mommyhood, but it's like test your gangster, test your mommyhood. How many of you all have those children? And let's be honest, because we all have one, right? So, oh yeah, that's the grandbaby. Color the walls, yeah, that's the grandbaby. And then look at you like, what? Is it not supposed to be colored? So, so what I'm getting at is that's GBP. GBP is the one that's going to test you. That's the one that's going to test your patience, but ultimately is going to pay you very well and is going to play out very well, right? So you notice that this one is just really nice. So like, this is not normal. Okay, GBP, but I mean, look at the channel. If I put the channel on here, okay, if I put the channel on here, then you're gonna see it disrespects the line a little bit. Like, you see that? If I put the channel on here, so that 1-2 pull it through, you see how it came through and it disrespected the line a little bit, but then it still played out and did what it was supposed to do. That's GBP. That's GBP hands down. That's GBP. That's GBP. That's GBP. All right. I just need you guys to know that that's GBP. And so you do your 10 pips and cash out. But as you advance your skill set, I don't need you trying to do this and you still trying to figure out what the blue line cross over the red mean. Is it at the 80 or is it at the 20? But I'm showing you this as you evolve and you begin to increase your skill set. So that's ultimately what's taking place right now. Questions, comments, testimonies on that. Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Any. Does that bring some clarity to what we're looking for and what we're doing? Any clarity? Any. All right, we have some. So you should get a little pullback around here. You know, you definitely should get a little pullback around here. But that's why I was trying to tell you that I would pay attention to this too. So, because some of you all didn't take it. Some of you all didn't push the button. Some of you are just going to wait till it breaks through there. So if I drop down, you'll see that there's a little hesitation there, right? This is when we start using our lower time frames, not before. You'll see, look at how it's reacting to that trend line, okay? So this is where we start having some reaction, you know, as far as to that trend and what the market is doing, right? So now, once again, phase one, you stay where we were at, right? You stay over there. This thing's still circling on this browser. So you kind of stay over there where we were, allow it to do what it's supposed to do. And so what this is going to do is help you increase that accuracy. You know, we already see where we are on the 15. That 30 looks really good. My hour, right? It's starting to look really, my hour is starting to look really good. Kind of like some rejection happening right there. So it just, what you're seeing is this is where that activity takes place, where all the movement happens. So my higher time frame give me direction. My mid time frame is where we analyze, which we did. We started at that 15. And then of course, my lower time frames is how we enter. And so that's where you see all this activity that's taking place around this trend line. You can see that pullback. Now for my HFX traders, this is where you live, right? So for my HFX traders, this is where you live. This is what you're looking for. You know where it's at. And so I know my 30 is in a sale, my 15 is in a sale. So when this finishes, it's correction. That's how you enter the trade, right? You see how, so when it breaks through the line, it does all of that. That's when my HFX traders will enter the trade. All right. So if you're trading options, the high frequency Forex, that's where you are. I've seen the 777s in there. So I just thought I'd help you guys out and address that a little bit as well. Okay. Because I know some of you are doing the HFX. Okay, so now let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's look at it. Let's see. That's so weird. This is not pulling like that. So now, right? So let's come in here. AUD/USD trigger for a buy on the 4 hour. All right. Now we know that these yellow lines from yesterday. So for everybody that's new to this call, you know, you might not have been hanging out with us the last 2 weeks. We've been following this trade. All right. And we've been watching how the triggers, because this actually triggered on a daily on a bounce back. So that's what made us say, let's follow it. Let's see, because we know that, you know, that's a trend identifier. And after it traveled up the way that it did, and it identified on the bounce back for a sale on the daily, right? On the daily, then we knew that it could be a potentially really good setup. And so what we've been doing is watching this from the harmonic scanner to the triggers on the vibrata. We've been watching this, right, as it has moved down in this pattern. Has that helped you guys as we've done that, right? Because we'll keep doing that. So we know it's already gone over 200 pips for profit, you know, 200 pips in profit. So we already know that that's taking place. Right? Did that help anybody as we've been following this to help you start seeing the market? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. So yesterday, what we know is that on the harmonic scanner, we had this harmonic pattern identified. So now what's happening is it has broken that trend line, right? That trend, it has broken that trend line, but it is also coming back to retest it as we talked about. Okay. So now we do know that we have potential for this to come back down for a sale, but this just triggered on my 4 hour, right? Let me find it again. I wrote it down. So it's triggered on my 4, here it is right here. Let me pause this. I want you guys to see it. It triggered on my 4 hour, right? For a buy. So let's put the trigger on there. Let's use the trigger. All right, let's use the trigger. And I'm gonna make this one orange. Actually, a trigger for a buy. Let's make it green so we don't mix it up with this stuff. Make our masterpiece, our coloring book masterpiece, okay? So 73382. Okay. So here we are. This is what we triggered for a buy. All right. We still have our harmonic pattern in here, right? This is what we triggered for a buy. Now, where is my confluence from the 4 hours? Somebody help me out. If I'm on a 4 hour, where's my confluence? Exactly. It's on the daily. So I'm going to jump up to the daily chart. So now when I look at my daily, right, look how smooth AUD is, right? For those of you, look how smooth it is. This is why I chose this, right? Remember, you have different types of children. GBP is going to pay you very well, but it is that child that makes you go, just a little bit. Who is that said that their child colors the walls? Now, one of my children ever wrote on the wall until I had my granddaughter. So my granddaughter thinks the walls, every room in his house, she is touched, she is anointed, right? And we have had our conversations. I'm on Zoom and it's a stream. So we've had our conversations, but she's still anointing my walls. And so, but she ultimately loves to spend time with her yaya. She loves to be around. She always wants to be here. So I'm just pointing out the fact that they're still going to do what you want them to do ultimately in the end. But, that's what she does. So bless her heart. Did you say bless her heart? I'm going to bless her butt. No, let me stop. So, as we, so you can see, right, that, look at the nice momentum that we actually have, right? Look at the nice momentum inside of this on a daily. Exactly. So now what you see is on my daily, right? You see what my daily is showing me. This is my daily. So this is where my confluence is. Now notice that every time it's triggered in a correction. So there should be some sell activity going on. So I understand that this is called in a buy. I just showed you how it's a very, very, very valid, right? It's a very, very, very valid trigger, right? Did you see the daily? But it's always caught in a correction. The difference with your higher time frames, okay? The difference with your higher time frames is that when I trigger on like my 15 and my 5 is in a correction, right? It's in a correction to the 30. You're not taking the correction, okay? You're not trading the correction, right? Because it's only going to correct. We don't know how far it's going to correct. But if my 4 hour is caught in a correction, that correction is going to be a lot greater than, right? It's going to have a lot more momentum because it's in a correction for the daily. How often do I get a daily candle, right? How often do we see a daily candle? We see a daily candle once a day, okay? 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, when the day rolls around, because it's a global market, that's when you see the daily, okay? That's when you see that, all right? So any questions on that? Any questions on that? Questions, comments, testimonies. So now this harmonic pattern should make sense as well. So the harmonic pattern, identifying this to close out, right? Now let's talk about it a little bit deeper. Let's go just a tad bit deeper, just a little bit. Now, knowing that we triggered on my 4 hour for a buy, knowing that this trigger happened, right? Knowing that, let me play this again. Knowing that we trigger for a buy, knowing that my daily, I have a harmonic pattern for a sale, knowing that my daily is in a buy, there is no expectation. That means that what I'm believing is going to happen is I'm going to stop my downward momentum. So if we do come here, this is what we'll get that what I call sloppy price action. Because if the market will move down to here, look at my stochastic on the 4 hour. It's coming down. It's not done, right? You see my stochastic. So but I'm not going past this point, which makes my harmonic pattern very valid. So what I'm doing this morning is really just trying to paint the picture how the tools work together. Each tool is valid. Like this obviously is the premier tool, but they're not calling different things. They're just looking at the market through a different lens. Okay. That's all they're doing. They're looking at the market through a different lens. But as you can see, as you begin to understand how the market moves, that they make sense. Because before, you guys would be looking at it like, why did this say buy, that say sell, this say this, that say that, right? Well, here you have it. So my 4 hour, I still have space and opportunity to sell, right? My harmonic scanner said that I should take a sell right here, but my vibrata, my trigger said I should take a buy. And excuse me, guys, that buy makes sense. But we know that when it comes down to here, because, right, it was in making the patterns, right? As it makes my patterns, I have my lower low, my lower low, my lower low, my lower high, right? So you see that it was moving in a lower, it was lowering, right? It was going in a sell. The momentum was in a sell. But what's happening here is, as long as I don't create a lower low, then my momentum is dying out and it's shifting. It's either sloppy price action where it's going to pull back up, or, my momentum is stopping. So it's going to pause right here. And so there should be no expectation for it to break this zone. Any questions, comments, or testimonies? Any questions, comments? All right, none. So we're almost at that time. Look, we only got 2 analyzations in. Let's talk real quick before we close out. But is that helping? Because you guys know I'll have like a laundry list of trades that I want to kind of give you real quick. But is this helping? Because I literally had like 4 harmonic scanner setups and just different things. But is that helping? Did that help this morning? Great. So I'm just trying to be very intentional, right? I'm just trying to be very intentional. I'm glad to hear that. I want to be very intentional, because what we're doing is preparing you to walk in those 6 figures, okay? We're preparing you to walk in the 6 figures in 6 months. And I'm going to let Miss Anderson give you the 6 and 6 in 6, because we're not going to accidentally do this on the call with me. I'm going to let her give you the 6 and 6. So, but we're not, because we definitely not doing no triples. We do like the 5. I don't need anybody making that accident. The 555, the 777, right? But 6 figures in 6 months is what, and so what we're trying to do is really just put you in that position. And so now is the time to make that destiny decision. Now is the time for you to say, you know what? It's time for me to enroll. For anybody on here as a guest, it's just time to make that decision, to say that, you know what, I'm worth it. I'm worth this decision. I'm tired of being where I've been. I don't care how well you've been financially or lack thereof, no matter where you've been. The reality is there's a shift happening. There's a change happening, because even with the success, that does not equate to wealth. It does not equate to you living life on your terms, because I've done it, made a lot of money. But making a lot of money makes a lot of my time. It takes a lot of my time. And so, this is where you balance things out and you walk in wealth, but at the same time, you are free. You control your life. And so we don't have to exchange our time for money. We don't have to do that anymore. What we're able to do is walk in profit. And I'm just, I just want to slow it down so we can prepare for that. Because while, yes, we're coming up on year 4. Next year, we'll be launching into our 4th year. And as we embark upon that 4th year of doing this, we've had people that have made quite a bit of money over the time. Yesterday on Facebook, I shared a screenshot of a guy saying, you know what, cash out, call out, right? So we've been doing this, but the intentional focus of the compounding, when Miss Anderson breaks it down to you guys on Tuesday nights, really walking you guys through that. So many of you all have embraced it. You've embraced it because she put an intentional focus out there on it, and a weekly intentional focus. And because of that, you all are walking in it, right? You're walking in that. And so we just want to slow down these calls a little bit help you understand it, because it's going to help you see the market. It's going to help you, use the tools. It's going to help you analyze. It's going to help you. And then when January kicks off, after we salute those who've done the 6 figures, after, you see the broadcast in 2 weeks, what's going to happen is you're now going to be able to walk through that, right? You're now going to be able to say, yes, I'm worth it. Yes. And I promise you, if you only do 50% of that, you're not going to be upset. And if you start the first time you do it with a quarter, let's say you come out of 6 figures in 6 months of the campaign, you come out with 25, right? You're not going to be mad. You're not going to be upset. Trust me, you're not going to be upset. You're going to be ecstatic, right? So let's go walk in excellence. Let's go be great. Let's go make sure that we are doing this together. We are in this together. Let's go make sure that we are walking in that wealth. So enroll, learn, profit, 2 million strong. Today is our Power Packed Tuesday. That means I'll see you at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll see you at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's obviously on YouTube and Facebook. And then I'll see you at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. I love you all. I love you all. And I'll see you back on this line. And hey, drop your 777 when you cash out. I'm just looking for the 777 in the chat. All right. So love you all. And I'll see you later.